What if AI models are making actual models? Vogue just sparked a massive debate with their AI model. Yes, those that appear in magazines that don't exist. ByteDance built a robot that can fold your laundry. And OpenAI's GPT-5 is coming with some crazy new features. Today, we're diving into the wildest tech news of the week, from digital models taking over fashion magazines to AI companies literally blocking each other's access. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with the story that has the entire fashion world up in arms. Vogue's August 2025 issue just made history, but not in a good way, according to many people. For the first time ever, Vogue featured an AI-generated model in a Guess advertisement. And here's the kicker. You probably wouldn't even notice she wasn't real unless you caught the tiny disclaimer in the corner that says, "Produced by Serafin Valora on AI." Her name is Vivienne. She's blonde, conventionally attractive, and has that perfect smile that, well, literally doesn't exist. The London-based AI agency Serafin Valora created her after being approached by Guess co-founder Paul Marciano. Now here's where it gets controversial. TikTok absolutely exploded when user Alala4an pointed this out. The video got over 2 million views in just 3 days. People are calling for boycotts of both Guess and Vogue. The backlash centers on 2 main issues. First, unrealistic beauty standards. As one TikTok comment with 67,000 likes put it, so first normal women are comparing themselves to edited models. Now we have to compare ourselves to women that don't even exist? Former model Sinead Bovell warned that young girls are already getting plastic surgery to look like Instagram filters. And now we're adding completely artificial people to the mix. Second, it's threatening real models' jobs. Sarah Ziff from the Model Alliance called it less about innovation and more about desperation and need to cut costs. What's really interesting is what Serafin Valora said when asked about diversity. They admitted they've posted AI models with different skin tones, but, quote, "People do not respond to them. We don't get any traction or likes." They also claimed the technology isn't advanced enough yet for plus-size models. Vogue says it wasn't their editorial decision. It was a paid ad. But the damage is done. This opens up a whole can of worms about where fashion and beauty standards are headed. Now, from virtual models to physical robots, ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, just unveiled something that could literally change how we do chores. They've developed a robotic system powered by AI that can fold your laundry, hang clothes, and clear tables. And I'm not talking about some clunky prototype. This thing actually works. The magic happens through their GR3 model. Think of it as the robot's brain. When integrated with their lab robot called Byte Mini, it can insert a hanger into a shirt and hang it up. Identify objects by size or position, like the larger plate, or the item on the left. Clean an entire dining table with just one command. Here's how they trained it. They combined massive amounts of image and text data, then fine-tuned it using virtual reality data from humans, and taught it to copy real robot movements. The timing is interesting. While TikTok faces another ban threat in the US, ByteDance is pushing hard into AI and robotics. Their seed department, which handles AI research, has over 15 job openings just for robotics roles. BC from their marketing team said something that caught my attention. They said that they hope GR3 can serve as a step towards building generalist robots capable of assisting humans in daily life. This is part of China's bigger push into what they call the low-altitude economy, both drones and robots for everyday use. The question is, are we ready for robots in our homes? Speaking of AI advancement, let's talk about the elephant in the room. GPT-5 is finally coming, and it's bringing some friends. According to multiple reports, OpenAI is targeting an August 2025 launch. That's literally next week. But here's what's really exciting. They're not just releasing one model. We're getting the main GPT-5 model with integrated reasoning capabilities, a mini version available on both ChatGPT and API, a nano version exclusively for API access. Sam Altman has been teasing this for weeks. He posted, "We are releasing GPT-5 soon," and even shared a story on a podcast about testing it personally. He said, quote, "I put it in the model, this is GPT-5, and it answered it perfectly. It was a weird feeling." What makes GPT-5 special? It's going to be a unified model that combines the best of OpenAI's GPT and O-series models. No more switching between different models for different tasks. It'll have native reasoning capabilities built right in. The context window, that's how much information it can process at once, is expected to be massive. We're talking potentially 1 million tokens. For reference, that's like feeding it an entire novel and having it understand every detail. It's also supposed to be significantly better at coding, which is interesting given what happened with Anthropic. But we'll get to that in a minute. Microsoft has been preparing server capacity since May, which shows just how much computational power this thing needs. The launch has been delayed multiple times for safety testing, but all signs point to early August. For developers, the mini and nano versions will offer more flexibility. You can choose between power and speed depending on your needs. This is OpenAI's biggest release since GPT-4 came out 2 years ago. Now for something a bit different, Spotify is taking their AI DJ to the next level, and it's learning how you talk. If you haven't tried Spotify's AI DJ yet, it's basically like having a personal radio host who knows your music taste perfectly. The voice is modeled after Xavier X. Jernigan, Spotify's head of cultural partnerships, and it sounds incredibly realistic. Here's what's new. The AI DJ now takes requests. You can press and hold the DJ button and actually talk to it. Want some high-energy workout music? Just ask. Need something chill for date night? It's got you covered. But here's the really interesting part that Spotify's chief product officer, Gustav Söderström, revealed. They're using all this voice data to understand how people naturally talk about music. He said, quote, "You can think of it as us getting a new data set." The AI is learning to reason over your listening history combined with what you say. So instead of just predicting what you might like, it can understand the context. Like if you ask for something upbeat but not too loud, it knows what that means for you specifically. Engagement with the DJ feature has nearly doubled in the past year. And Söderström hinted that this is just the beginning. He said, "You can already write to Spotify, talk to Spotify, you're just going to see that expand." They're essentially building a conversational AI that could completely change how we interact with music streaming. Imagine having a full conversation with your music app about what mood you're in and having it perfectly curate your experience. Xavier Jernigan, the voice of the DJ, has to be super precise in his recordings. He said, "I have to make sure I hit the T's if there's a T at the end of a word because if I don't, that can train the voice model to pronounce that word incorrectly." It's available for premium users in over 60 markets where DJ is currently supported. Okay, now for some serious AI industry drama that just went down this week. Anthropic just revoked OpenAI's access to their Claude models, and the timing couldn't be more interesting, right before GPT-5's launch. Here's what happened. Anthropic discovered that OpenAI engineers were using their competitor Claude AI's API, specifically Claude Code, which is considered the best AI coding tool out there, in ways that violated their terms of service. According to Wired's report, OpenAI was connecting Claude to internal tools to compare its performance with their own models in coding, writing, and safety testing. They were basically using their competitor's product to make their own product better. Anthropic's spokesperson Christopher Nolte threw some shade, saying, "Claude Code has become the go-to choice for coders everywhere, and so it was no surprise to learn OpenAI's own technical staff were also using our coding tools ahead of the launch of GPT-5. OpenAI fired back, with their communications chief Hannah Wong calling it industry standard to evaluate other AI systems to benchmark progress and improve safety. She added that it's disappointing considering our API remains available to them. This isn't Anthropic's first rodeo with blocking competitors. They previously cut off Windsurf's access when rumors swirled that OpenAI was trying to acquire them for $3 billion. Anthropic's chief science officer was pretty blunt about it. "I think it would be odd for us to be selling Claude to OpenAI." The irony here? Just a few months ago, OpenAI was complaining about DeepSeek potentially mining their data. Now they're on the receiving end of similar accusations. This shows just how competitive the AI space has become. These companies are literally blocking each other from using their tools. Finally, let's talk about what might be the most innovative drone announcement we've seen in years. Insta360, the company that dominates 360-degree cameras, just announced a new brand called Anti-Gravity, and they're coming for DJI's crown. Here's what makes this special. It's the world's first drone with a built-in 8K 360-degree camera that weighs less than 249 grams. Why does weight matter? In the US and UK, you can fly it without a license. Think about what this means. Instead of pointing your drone camera in one direction and missing the action happening behind you, this captures everything. You can literally shoot first and decide what to frame later in post-production. The drone is set to be unveiled in August 2025, and from what we know, 8K resolution for incredibly detailed footage, real-time data transmission, in-flight camera control, designed for both beginners and pros, features to prevent misuse, making it a true consumer product. The timing is interesting because DJI just announced their own 360 camera, the Osmo 360, which shows these companies are now competing directly in each other's territories. BC Ni from Anti-Gravity said, "While others compete on specs, we've flipped the script, reimagining what a drone should be able to do." Now, there are two concerns here. First, will 360 video from a drone actually be useful, or is it just a gimmick? Second, with all the regulatory issues facing Chinese tech companies in the US, will this even make it to market? Remember what happened to Skydio? They tried to compete with DJI with autonomous features, but eventually exited the consumer market. The drone space is tough to crack, but if anyone can do it, it might be Insta360. They've already proven they can make 360 cameras mainstream. The question is whether they can do the same for drones. Wow, what a week in tech. The common thread of it all? AI is touching everything, from the images in magazines, to the robots in our homes, to how we discover music. We're living through a technological revolution, and it's happening faster than ever. What do you think about all this? Are you excited about AI models in fashion? Would you let a robot fold your laundry? And are you Team Claude or Team GPT? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tech news breakdowns. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.